boundaries. But things are changing. Or so Washington keeps telling me. He pressed his palms against the table. Hug the trees, save the planet, teach the world to sing. Is that why you're here, young lady? Why was she here? Jonathan should be the one sitting in front of him. Her stomach nodded. She was a poor substitute. But then, she'd been a lousy sister as well. My uncle inspired me with stories of his trips to Yosemite and his time working for the Prairie Creek and Jedediah Smith State Parks. I remember him saying that some of the first women rangers had been hired when the parks were facing a shortage of male candidates during World War I. Since these ladies were capable of doing the job more than 50 years ago, I figured I could do it too. And I was raised to care about the environment. I'm not following some fad. My aunt has fought for coastal redwood preservation her entire life. She was protesting their destruction long before it was the cool thing to do. She gripped her knee, willing the muscles to stop quivering below her brace. A smile eased across his lined face. I'm glad to see you inherited some of Marion's gumption. That's good. You'll need it. The local community still isn't fond of the National Park Service moving in here. They were fine with the state parks, but they see this as a land grab. He shuffled a stack of papers. In truth, I'm not opposed to ladies in the Park Service. I think there's a place for a gentler touch. I hired 3 other girls for the summer. As soon as my secretary gets your measurements, your uniforms will be on their way. Washington came up with new designs for Lady Rangers 2 years ago, but we haven't had need of them before now. The tension in her back eased. They'd finally gotten rid of the ridiculous airline stewardess skirts and pillbox hats. Thank you, Lord. Will we be wearing the same uniform as the men, then? You're already taking a man's job. You want his trousers, too? Heat rushed to her cheeks. No, sir. We haven't built any seasonal housing yet. But since a few of you are going to be stationed down in the Auric area, we've dropped a couple of trailers near the new information center. It's not much. We're still working on the park's master plan, so most everything is temporary for now. He stood, his chair squeaking as it released his weight. I'm sure it'll be fine. June reached for her elbow crutch, slipping the cuff over her forearm before pushing herself to a standing position and latching her brace. Superintendent Carlson froze mid-step, the color draining from his face. You're crippled? The word dropped like a hatchet, and her throat clenched. Yes. He hadn't known? He blew out a long breath and averted his eyes. Your aunt really should have mentioned that. I agree. She balanced on her single aluminum crutch, withering under the superintendent's examination. She should have anticipated this. Aunt Marion and Uncle Walt were pretty much the only 2 people in June's life who saw what she could do rather than what she couldn't. I came down with polio when I was 5. This, she tapped her leg, is my reminder. June straightened to her full height, what little there was of it. She might not be ideally suited to the job, but her determination had gotten her through worse. I wish Marion had said something. I get around just fine, sir. I can do the job. Can you? The sideburns failed to disguise the twitch in his jaw. He blew out a long sigh. You're here now, I suppose. A groove formed between his brows. You do know this position involves leading nature walks. We're not hiring an office girl. She forced a smile to her face. I love hiking. I'm a little slower than some, but I always make it to the end of the trail. Always. A half-truth, but she'd hold herself to it.